playoff time in the NBHL. It is the New Jersey Tier 1 quarterfinals. South Jersey Top Guns and Knights Watch, the 6-3 matchup in the quarterfinals in New Jersey Tier 1. Matthew, Aaron, thank you so much for being with us. This is game one of this series. Excited to bring it to you as the games, we talked about it on our Game of the Week last week. The stakes now could not be higher in the postseason. These two teams met in the playoffs last year in the semifinals. Knights Watch won that 2-1 on their way to winning New Jersey Tier 1. Earlier this season, you saw Knights Watch beat the Top Guns 5-0, and so Top Guns, who are the 6 seed playing the 3 seed Knights Watch, are going to be looking for some not just regular season revenge, but some playoff revenge as we get to this game one today. These teams pretty evenly matched. Top Guns were 4-6 in the regular season. Knights Watch 6-4, but they're one of the best teams still in this New Jersey Tier 1. And so we're excited for some really good playoff ball hockey. And the first period of game one is coming right up.
From the beginning of time, men and women have been friends, family, but yet rivals as well. Some of the most epic battles have been fought from the North to the South Pole and anywhere in between. As time flies, battles have transformed themselves into sports. Yet, the fundamentals remain the same, with lighter shields and a different type of sword. But evolution is clever. It introduces new rules but keeps one thing intact: adrenaline. So it's with honor and pride that we present to the world all of the above into one sport. Hockey ball, the game born in the North that can be played from the mountains to the ocean, and from America to Europe, all the way to the land of the rising sun. Napper. Anyone, anywhere.
So here we go. Top Guns in all red, Knights Watch in white, black shorts, silver numbers in game one of this 3-game quarterfinal series. It reseeds, by the way, so if Knights Watch is to be victorious in this overall series, they'll play the 2 seed, and then if Top Guns win, they'll play the 1 seed. Keep that in mind as we go along. Beautiful summer's day for playoff ball hockey. Knights Watch, as we mentioned off the top, they're 6-4. They are the 3 seed. Top Guns are 6. They made it in as the 4 seed. This is going to come all the way in an opportunity. That one didn't quite go for Jonathan Ruiz, one of the men's national team captains. Heck of a player. He had a really good opportunity for Top Guns right off the hop there. It's Robbie Mangini, the goalkeeper for Knights Watch, and U23 national team. That was a really good early chance for the Top Guns, who again mentioned earlier lost 5-0 to Knights Watch in the regular season. Now it's Knights Watch's turn. That is saved there by Michael Tussey, the goalie, and the rebound is put in. That didn't take very long at all, did it? It's Mike Henry coming from the backside, and he is able to put this away. The Tier 1 MVP in 2023 scores a goal not even a minute in, and he just has a beautiful backhand by Michael Tussey. The goal, he's not even warmed up yet. He's able to get that goal in. That is his 5th goal of the season. Heck of a player. You see why he was the MVP a couple years ago. And the Knights Watch has a 1-0 lead. Chris Buckman and Blake Gray got assists. Chris Buckman, incidentally, was part of the Top Guns last year, a team that lost in the semifinals, so he switches sides, and there's an opportunity that deflects wide, comes out in front. That nearly went in again. And Tussey has to just look behind to make sure this ball doesn't go in. There's a first shot. He does not know where it is, and then he still didn't know where it was. It was Ryan McCormick who ended up getting a look interest in Hofstrom as well in there for Knights Watch, and that was almost a 2-0 lead in the blink of an eye. That could have been a really tough start for the Top Guns. Now, of course, you, in a 3-game series, have a little bit of a margin for error. But you don't want to go down 1-0 because this is a best-of-3 series, so the margin for error is still pretty small. Top Guns have some work to do, but they found a way to make it to the playoffs. That shot from Henry whistles wide. He's going to get a bunch of those looks in this game today. I don't think there's any question about that. This is Evan Keefe, number 91. He's just going to go try to track it down in the corner into the shadows down there. We've played just 2:15 in the game. Long point shot from Ruther, Justin Ruther. Mangini made the save, and then the rebound went a little wide as well. So now it's on the Top Guns to respond and see what they can get going. Youngest team overall in New Jersey Tier 1, so it's the team that's going to, whatever happens here, makes the playoffs and then pushes forward beyond that. Of course, the other semifinal series going on this weekend as well. We'll talk more about that and the whole playoff bracket as the game of the week progresses. Evan Benedict, number 54, trying to chase it down. Going to try to play it to himself off the end boards, and really good job to keep possession. Trying to squeeze it out in front, but eventually the Top Guns found a little bit of room. One nothing Knights Watch in the early going of this quarterfinal game one. It is a best 2 out of 3, and they're going to not have much downtime before they play again. And that long shot from outside the blue line goes in. Well, not a whole lot going on there, and then this seems like a pretty harmless shot. It's from Jonathan Ruiz, and he just beats Mangini. Glove side, he missed it. That's not what you want for the Knights Watch. Genie is a very, very good goalie. Said he's on the U23 national team. The problem, though, he just missed that one. Beat him glove side. Ruiz, he came in with 3 goals in the regular season. That's his 4th. Assist from JT Silvestri and Jared Spear. So about 2.5 minutes after going behind, they take the lead, and now they almost took the lead. It was an opportunity for Tussey, who just poked it wide. He was in on a mini breakaway. Just ran out of racetrack. Almost a lead for the Top Guns all so soon after giving up the early goal. And then this got frozen in the corner, and we're going to get a face-off. Sometimes it doesn't take a whole lot to get back into games like this, and Ruiz just flicked a shot maybe just on the other side of the blue line. Mangini wasn't screened. A shot that beat him glove side. Men's national team captain Jonathan Ruiz, as we said. Some really good players for both of these teams. And arguably the 2 best players for each team have already scored. That's what you want at all levels of playoff hockey. Henry and Ruiz. And so now a 1-1 game, just about halfway through this opening frame. Another opportunity, and that shot just rolled wide from Keefe, who had a look on the right wing. Top Guns are finding their rhythm again in this game. Again, more offensive zone possession. Back to the point. That is stopped by Mangini. That one he saw, even with a little bit more traffic in front. Still loose in the offensive zone, into the slot, going all the way in, and another goal. Top Guns have scored 2 in about a minute and a half. This belongs to Evan Keefe. And look at how easily he's going to get into the slot right here. It's a little screen there set by Jack Colfer, and that's a lot of room for him to go top shelf. Keefe picks up his 2nd goal of the season. It's now 2-1 Top Guns in a very wild and active first period. Usually in playoff games, you get a feeling out process and some teams probably not wanting to take a whole lot of risks. And now we've got 3 goals, 5 minutes. This will be icing, and so it'll come back down to the other end. Keefe from Joyce and Spear. That's from Michael Joyce, number 19, and Tyler Spear, number 92. For Joyce, that is his 2nd assist of the season. And for Spear, that's his 5th assist of the year. That's the scoring on the 3rd goal already, just about halfway through this first period. Usually playoff games at whatever level of hockey we're talking about, they're not that high scoring, but wonder if that changes here. Now, Knights watch after going up about a minute into the game. They've taken a bit of a punch, and now they're looking to respond. Here's an opportunity. McCormick, I think he tried to stuff it in short side, but Tussey had that covered. Hugging the post. Comes back into the slot. It rolled off a blade. Hofstrom tries to shoot. That went into some shin guards. Got to be willing to take punishment in playoff hockey. And I don't think in ball hockey that's any different. Another turnover. Opportunity. That was Ruppert trying to send that through. Going to come all the way back down, and that's going to roll for icing. Rupert's shot was blocked. The defenseman number 16. And after another icing, offensive zone faceoff for Knights watch. And as last year, they were the New Jersey Tier 1 champion in the playoffs, and then lost to Caribou, as we talked about in one of our previous games of the week, in the overall NBHL championships. A couple of months away now, just about 2 months away. The championship weekend in the NBHL, that's going to be a lot of fun. But we've got to get through the postseason first. Dom Tussey, who is the 4th overall scorer in New Jersey Tier 1, came in with 12 points, 7 goals, 5 assists. He was number 50 trying to bring it into the offensive zone. Bit of a scramble out in front. Here's Leo Pagliazzo. He's trying to work. Right now, he has got 7 assists, so somebody definitely to watch out for in this game, number 16 in red. But Knights watch sorted it out, and now they try to break into the offensive zone and cannot do so cleanly. And it'll be Chris Carnival, number 44, who has to send it all the way back. 3:05 to go in this opening period. 2-1 lead for the Top Guns. This game won. So there will be at least one more game following this, and then maybe a third to come. Playoff ball hockey, it's all sorted out in a day. Head to semifinal weekend next weekend. Gonna come across, there's a chance, and that's stopped by Mangini. That was Michael Joyce, number 19, who got a cross-rink feed, got a little bit of room, but Mangini read it well. It's gonna be an important test for him. Look how far out he is, challenging, then backs up into his crease. Good positioning, squeezes the shot. Not much he can do on the second goal, but on the Ruiz goal, it's one he's definitely going to want back. We'll see how he responds the rest of the way. Now 2:20 to go in this opening period. Loose in the neutral zone, maybe a chance for transition. That's a nice defensive stick there from Dylan Convery, number 76. That's a great defensive stick holding the blue line. Gotta love it when a defenseman's able to pull that off and make it look easy. Hofstrom will set it up in the corner, trying to find space. He tries a very sharp angle shot. That didn't have much of a chance. Poor refs have to look into the sun to find where the ball is. That is not an easy task. Good work for our referees. Hopefully by the end of this game, the sun will be less factor. That came in front, an opportunity. Hofstrom again, he just rolled it wide. Top Guns will have a chance to reset. I think towards the end of this period, still 2-1 Top Guns. Minute 15 to go. There is some good body contact there. I think Convery lost his stick, so he's got to play without it and try to get a check, and his stick did not fail him. He can go back and pick it up. See, we got a little bit of a breeze going on as well. Maybe that'll cool things off. Hot days in July. There is a penalty coming up. It's against the Top Guns. Couldn't exactly see what happened. There's less than a minute to go in the period. Mangini's gone off for the extra attacker. And so Knights Watch will be able to set the table for what they want before Top Guns touch, and then they'll be on a power play. They are now in the offensive zone. That was Benedict, Evan Benedict trying to set it up. Convery's going to look to squeeze it through traffic. Send it cross rake. Now it's touched and there's possession. And a power play to come. Couldn't exactly tell where the penalty came from. We're going to maybe get a good look at it here. They're going to call hooking or tripping, I think. Let's see. Can we tell what player it is? I don't think we could tell exactly what player went into the box. But it's a power play for Knights Watch that will carry over to the second period if they don't score here. They don't have a ton of time left to make something happen. The first shot was blocked. Jared Maska tries to get it through. Another opportunity. That was stopped by Tussey. Ball is pinned in the corner there. That's where Top Guns want to keep it. Penalty kill, but eventually Knights Watch able to find it. There's a chance that comes in front, deflected as the siren goes and we get to the end of the first period. The Top Guns have a 2-1 lead, but they are shorthanded heading into the second period. We've got a lot to talk about in the first intermission coming right up. A lot of goals to talk about in the first intermission of this quarterfinal game one between Top Gun and Knights Watch. Matthew Aaron, thank you for being with us. Let's get straight into the goals because we've got a bunch of them. And Mike Henry, one of the best players in New Jersey Tier 1, MVP back in 2023, didn't waste a lot of time getting one right in early. Official scoring was 59 seconds. He's able to get this right behind Michael Tussey. And Knights Watch off to a great start, as you would expect. One of the best teams in New Jersey Tier 1, but quickly thereafter, how about this shot from Jonathan Ruiz? It's a really good shot. It's a tough save for Mangini. Probably one he wants back. And then quickly after that, Evan Keefe, who hasn't scored all that much this season, this was only his second goal of the year, but he was able to get an opportunity, stuff it by Mangini, and the Top Guns have a 2-1 lead. Problem, though, they are shorthanded starting this second period, so Knights Watch is going to have a chance to get right back at this and tie this game up early in the second. We'll see if they can convert on the power play. You know, in playoff hockey, you don't get many of those. We'll see how it goes with the second period, which is coming right up.
Ooh, that's a lovely view.
What are you two looking at?
Tip pick.
What did you say?
Tip pick. Tickets to the show with no hidden fees.
We go to the second period again. Knights Watch are on the power play, carrying over from the first period. So, important penalty kill here for the Top Guns. As mentioned in the intermission report, the odds are you're probably not going to see many more power plays. It is playoff hockey after all. And that also means for Knights Watch, you're not going to get many opportunities like this. Blake Gray brings that into the zone. 10th in overall New Jersey Tier 1 scoring with 10 points. 10 points in 10 games. Point a game is exactly what you want. Need to have him step up. There's a shot that gets deflected off of a couple of sticks and out of play. Chris Buckman, we mentioned in the first period, part of Top Guns last year. He was in the vicinity. Shot deflected out of play. It is a very big time on the ball hockey calendar. Of course, we're going to talk about that, not just the postseason, but even more big events are coming. And we will talk about that as it goes on. There's an opportunity, a backdoor play, a look for Hofstrom, and it just rolled off the end of his tape. He's going to try to fling this back up high. Going to set the table. Power play still ongoing, but not for much longer. Gray tries to get it through. Comes across, and what a shot that is from a sharp angle left circle. It's a goal. And Knights Watch has tied it up. And you'll be surprised to see that it's Mike Henry who scores from a ridiculous spot. He's stepping up for a one-timer here. He decides not to, but look at this wrist shot and the power he generates. That turns poor Michael Tussey around in a circle once or twice. He's wondering, how on earth did that get by me? Where did you find the space? Well, Mike Henry was the New Jersey Tier 1 MVP in 2023, as we talked about. He's got himself a 2-goal game. Blake Gray now has a 2-assist game from the blue line, now up to 8 assists on the season and 12 points. And also Darren Maska gets an assist as well. That was his 5th assist of the year, so he's now up to 7 points overall, and it is a 2-2 game. So what an exceptional bit of passing. I think also Hofstrom may have gotten the assist based on the official accounting. We'll check on that for you as we go on. Either way, it is now a 2-2 game. We know that Henry now has himself 6 goals on the season. 6 goals in 9 games is a pretty good return. Icing here against Night's Watch, and the ball will go back down to the other end. So everybody's gotten goals out of their system, and as we talked about, it's playoff hockey, so you would imagine going to be a lot of defense, got to be a lot of tight checking. 4 goals in the first 11 minutes of this game. We'll see how many more we get. Mentioned in the first period that in the playoffs, how it works, it's obviously best 2 out of 3. If the Top Guns were to win this series, they would go on to play the number 1 seed Caribou, Lakeland Caribou, of course. If Night's Watch wins this series, they're going to play the Marlton Dogs in the 2nd seed. As get another look right off the face-off. Here's another opportunity, and it comes in. Look at that save. You have to give credit to Mangini, who's responded well since that goal he gave up to Ruiz in the first period. He made that very difficult save look routine, so routine, in fact, the announcer was continuing his story as this ball deflects into the bench. The announcer's continuing his story while he's making the save. Regardless of whether the announcer is distracted by his story or not, Mangini has to respond, and he's certainly done so since giving up those 2 goals at about a minute and a half in the first period. The other series, of course, Evesham Tortugas and the Long Island Fury. We saw them last week win that game in regulation, ended up sliding up to the 5 seed. That's the other series played this weekend. It's set back out in front. There was an opportunity that didn't quite work out. Callahan with a chance. That might have hit a shoe or 2 on the way in. So now it's Top Guns bringing the offensive pressure, as Night's Watch able to clear it into the neutral zone. Top Guns responding well after giving up that power play goal to Mike Henry. To be fair, there aren't many players in ball hockey who are going to score that kind of goal other than him. He's looking for a hat trick. That shot didn't make it all the way through, and this will come back down to the other end. I said that this is a very big time for the NBHL, which is true. Playoffs going on, as after another turnover, this came in front, bodies hitting the deck. Night's Watch scramble it clear. Here's an opportunity to get right back in. Jared Spear tries to shoot. Ooh, that deflected over the top. Genie was out of position for a second. He got back into position. Trying to come back to the point, but now Night's Watch able to play it ahead. Deflects into the bench. It's a big time in the NBHL because if you haven't heard yet, as you get another look at this save from Mangini, Top Gun's putting on the pressure. Look how far out he is to make that save. It deflected off the top of the crossbar, too. How close did that come for Impagliazzo? Mentioned his 7 assists in the first period. Heck of a save by Mangini. He gets a little lucky as the ball hits the bar, too. It's a big time in ball hockey because next Thursday, 9 Eastern, ESPN2, the NBHL will be on your television screens. Another long shot gets deflected in, and that chance went wide in front, too. The Top Gun's putting the pressure on, just like they did in the game you are going to see. Yes, we understand that the game is from June, but Top Guns, Evesham Tortugas, 9 p.m. on ESPN2 next Thursday, July 31st, a week from when this is airing. In fact, 7 days and an hour. Ruiz tried another long shot. That deflected into the corner. But to be on ESPN2, we're all really excited. that shot from Carnival was deflected over the top, I think. Tussey gets a piece of it right here. Rare opportunity for Night's Watch to get something on net. They do get it. There's your Sance, and there's your save, which he ended up Tussey holding on to. Squeezed it pretty well. About halfway through this second period, and Night's Watch just trying to get some offensive rhythm back. This comes out in front again and deflects out of the rink. There's an opportunity as Tussey again having to pinwheel and cartwheel to keep himself on balance as another chance goes wide. Some of these Top Gun stars appearing next week on television. Exciting for them too. This comes in for his chance. Mangini had to make a couple of saves there. Not great chances, but they found their way through for a second. Night's Watch trying to play it ahead, but they give it away, and the Top Guns will reset the play here. Trying to enter the offensive zone into this near corner. Night's Watch able to clear it, able to break it into the offensive zone. They're not able to break it into the offensive zone cleanly as the ball just kind of sits down in the corner. And they turn it over again. Their opportunity for transition. That was deflected away from Tom Tussey once again. He's been lively as another chance that deflects. It stays in the rink this time, about 3 minutes to go in the period. There's a chance in front. Speaking of not guessing, Tussey doesn't have to guess well on that save. Opportunity out in front after a turnover, and look at the first save he makes. He's out of position. That was going to go wide, that first shot, but he got the paddle of his blade on it. So both goalies are playing really well. Convery trying to clear it up the wall. He turned it over. There's a chance. Good save through traffic there by Mangini, and it deflects out of play. Another icing call here against Night's Watch. They've actually been under a lot of pressure here in the second period. They got that goal, and they've sat back and absorbed a lot of pressure. If you watch soccer, this would be described as suffering, and they're suffering without the ball right now. But Mangini's been sharp, and I can't think of many great chances the Top Guns have had. We are now in the last minute of the play in the second period. Mangini down in his stance, but he was able to keep it out. And now on the other way comes McCormick. He wants to shoot. That's frozen by Tussey. Another chance came in that Tussey made the save. That might have been deflected off a couple of sticks. It was Carnival who once again got a shot. Another icing, and so we're going to have to do it again down here. Pretty big offensive zone face-off here to Tussey's left. Ruiz to take it for the Top Guns. This again comes into the slot. Oh, look at that opportunity. Just rolled off the edge of the tape for Night's Watches. Again, they haven't had many opportunities in this period. No question about that, but they did there. That's a good save. Tussey, once again, has been really good right before the horn. That was Maska who had a good chance. Siren sounds, early goal from Mike Henry. A great goal from him has tied this game up. More on this game and more maybe on the Ocho in the second intermission report. Only goal of that second period was early. It was a special goal. Matthew Aaron here, the NBHL game of the week in this game one between Top Guns and Night's Watch. And Mike Henry, talked about him a lot. Tier 1 New Jersey MVP for 2023. And this is one of the best goals you're going to see. Look at his angle right here. He doesn't have much. And look at where he ends up putting the ball. And I don't blame poor Michael Tussey for wondering, how on earth did that get by me like that? Because I don't know any goalie in the world who's going to stop that shot. That's incredible from Henry. His second of the game. He's having a great season. 6 goals now and 5 assists to go along with it in 9 games. That's a pretty good return. And you want the Stars to come out in this game. They certainly have as we head to the third period 2-2. It's playoff hockey. It's tight. It's intense. And wonder what we're going to be heading towards in this game one. We'll find out together right after this.
Tune in to the Commish Chat podcast, your go-to source for weekly league breakdowns, current events, and behind-the-scenes stories from the world of ball hockey and the NBHL. Whether you're a player, a fan, or just discovering the game, we've got you covered. We break down top matchups, highlight standout performances, and dive into everything happening on and off the rink, from highlight reel goals to major league updates and everything in between. New episodes drop regularly, and you can catch every one on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Commish Chat, an NBHL podcast.
And go in the third period, a very important third period of this game one. Top Guns, Night's Watch, 2-2. Where do we go from here? See, the shadows have crept in. Poor referees were losing the ball in the sun earlier, but should mean we get a pretty good period. Nobody's having to look into the sun one way or the other. That should mean some pretty even ball hockey as we go forward. So, opportunity here to set the stage. Ruiz from behind the net. He tries to get it out in front. Nothing doing there. Both goalies, Mangini and Tussey, have been really good since they were beat early. Mangini particularly. We talked about the goal that he gave up to Ruiz. That was a tough one. This came out in front. He saw that well. That was spiked away. Maska might have gotten a piece of it. I don't know if Tanner Rupert there may have had a bit of a shot block that got in his way. He was holding his arm going to the bench. Hopefully he's okay. Loose in front. That was Henry looking for the hat trick. What a poke check there from Tussey. He did a really good job of figuring that out. And now here we go in the neutral zone as Top Guns shoot it in. Top Guns played really well in that second period. They had most of the offensive zone pressure and time, but they really couldn't do much to test Mangini outside of a couple of occasions. So have to keep that in mind as the rest of this game goes on. I think get a whistle here. I think the ball left the rink, and so we'll do that again. Thank you for being with us. Again, can't mention enough. Next week, Thursday, 9 Eastern, ESPN2, NBHL on television, on the Deuce. Top Guns and Evesham Tortugas. It might be from June 1st, but you want to watch it. We're all really excited about that incredible. It really is fun to be a part of the Ocho. It is an honor, no matter how silly it might seem. Romanecki, that's almost found its way through. Again, look at how the players sliding, getting waffle burns, as we learned a couple of weeks ago. If you were with us, that's personally one of my favorite moments in all the games of the week we did in that Mass Tier 1 game, and learning what a waffle burn was. Henry hits the deck hard. Hopefully he's okay. Some playoff body contact right there. Well, it was clean. Pressure now for Top Guns. Again, they are in the all red, white with black pants and silver numbers for Night's Watch. Looks like Henry's all right after going to the rink to try to make a play after taking a check as well. The waffle burns will burn a little bit more in playoff hockey, there's for sure. Henry's able to pick it up, some good board work there. Night's Watch able to get possession back, and now they try to break into the offensive zone. It's Convery, number 76, who had jumped into the play, but not able to settle possession. Little bank off the boards, trying to work their way into the zone, but it's taken away. Pushed by Rupert to the wing. Evan Benedict, he's going to try to swing it into a less congested area. Eventually got it on his forehand. That might have been deflected off the goalie and wide. And Tussey down covering the near post. You need your goalies to really stand up in the playoffs. That is hockey canon at this point, and both goalies have certainly done that. Feels like one of those games where not a whole lot's going to get by him. I think the ball just got frozen there in the corner. No one was able to fork it out of all those sticks and shoes and shin pads, and so we will get a face-off to the right of Tussey here. Of course, overtime incoming. If no one scores, as Tussey again was hopeful that this pad's got that shot from the sharp angle dealt with, and did. And the Top Guns able to play it ahead. Like we have talked about before, Knights Watch is one of the best teams in all of Tier 1 NBHL. Another great save there by Tussie. He was stretching, might have gotten a piece of it as it went wide. And Top Guns, not the same level, not the same history, and these teams are playing very even right now. Another shot deflects over the top of the fence and out of the rink. So we will do it again. Another offensive zone face-off for Knights Watch. And what playoff hockey is, it can make games between teams you might think are a little bit lopsided a little bit more competitive, and this game has been very competitive, very close. The first period, Mike Henry, he got that goal about a minute in, then the 2 goals, Ruiz and Keefe for Top Guns. Henry picked up another one early in the second period on the power play, and since then it's been this, basically. Hard duels, hard work, tight checking, some physical contact. It's playoff ball hockey, everybody. And it's the best of the best. Another long shot. Good save by Mangini. He was looking to ensure a rebound never came in, and he had it dealt with. Still comes out in front. Another chance was swept wide. It definitely feels like what you're watching right now is next team that makes a mistake might end up losing this game. And that is what playoff hockey tends to look like. Third periods, we're halfway through it. There's an opportunity in front. Hofstra maybe is that kind of a backdoor pass, I think, ends up flying over the net on a shot attempt. You want to take no chances in any of these situations. And right now, it seems like both teams are perfectly capable of opening this game up if they want to. Here's Jack Colfer, number 10 on the wing, trying to play it through that pressure. Just trying to enter the zone is hard, but now it could be maybe a mini 2-on-1. Colfer swung it wide. Allahan was trying to screen the goalie in front. I don't think you're going to see a lot of risks being taken because we're not quite in practically sudden death overtime, but we're getting close, should be said. We're at that time where if a team gets a goal, then they're more than comfortable playing defense and sitting on it. That was Keefe trying to, a little dipsy doodle move in the offensive zone. He couldn't get around the defender. There has been really good defending for both teams in this game. Their setups have been hard to break down, not a lot of space, some chances, but even if there's an opening, shots are hitting sticks, they're hitting legs, they're hitting shin pads, shoes, whatever. And that's creating a major challenge in terms of finding that killer goal. And with how close this game is, as we work closer to true sudden death, but additionally, it's going to be heartbreak for whoever loses. This 2-on-1 chance, and instead of passing, that shot came in from Maska. He could have set it up to McCormick. He decided to shoot, and he missed everything. Point shot again gets blocked. That was one of the rare defensive breakdowns for either team there. 2-on-1, and Knights Watch, you don't blame Maska for taking a shot, as Mangini will cover this up at the side of the net. Don't blame him for taking that shot, but the other part about games that are this defensively tight and close, whatever chances you get, you better make the most of them, and Maska didn't make the most of that. He's played every game this season, one of the key players on a really, really solid and deep Knights Watch team. As we mentioned before, if you are scrubbing through the broadcast, if Knights Watch wins this series, this best 2 out of 3, they will play the 2-seed Marlton Dogs in the semifinals. If the Top Guns win, they will play number 1 seeded Caribou. Tortugas and Long Island Fury, of course, is the other quarterfinal series that is part of the New Jersey Tier 1 opening weekend of the playoffs. And yes, we understand that the Ocho having a game from the regular season while the playoffs are going on is a little strange, but it's still the best quality ball hockey you're going to find. There's another chance that got blocked in front again, hit sticks and legs. Good move just inside the line, but another turnover, and now maybe an on-man opportunity for Knights Watch. Henry's going to the net. They tried to get it to him. Down is Tussie. He's scrambling. He tried to cover it up. I don't think that was ever as much of a dangerous chance as it looked. Rupert was right there. There's an opportunity. Gray trying to shoot it. Got blocked in front as well. Rare opportunity for Night's Watch. They almost made the most of it. I think that was touched with a high stick, and so we're going to get a whistle. Let's look at this chance again from behind the net from Tussey. Here's, again, they're looking to set up Gray. It comes all the way through to Gray after trying to set up Henry. Rupert had that chance, but you have Spear in the way. You have Romanecki in the way. Made it really hard to get that scoring chance through, and in that situation, I don't blame trying to get it to Mike Henry. He's got 2 goals already, a former Tier 1 MVP, and the goals he scored today have been truly spectacular. We are getting very, very late, and what this means, almost certainly, is that we are in next goal win territory in this game 1. The loser of this game is not out of this series by any means, but it could be a tough blow. And right now, you honestly can't see who's gonna, in this case, who's gonna make the play that wins you a playoff game. It has been that even. Top Guns flip it along. Glove down by Colfer, but he couldn't bring it into the zone. A long shot from Buckman. And the Top Guns player from last year, big left-hand shot. He tried to hammer it through. You just heard, minute to go in the period. We are real close to overtime, and really seems like both teams right now are perfectly happy to play it pretty safe, which you don't blame them. Ruiz trying to get it out in front. That sat there in the slot for a second, but there wasn't anybody else in red there. Ruiz, who scored that first goal for the Top Guns. Night's Watch trying to break in. This is McCormick. Not a whole lot that they could do there. Henry from the wing. His time's running out in the regulation of this game 1. Henry tried to spin it off to his teammate. He's got it back behind the net. He wants to set the table, but sticked away. That's good defending. Justin Ruther, number 28 among others. There goes the siren, and here we go to overtime in game 1 of the quarterfinals. We're going to have a commercial break and come back with OT right after this.
From the beginning of time, men and women have been friends, family, but yet rivals as well. Some of the most epic battles have been fought from the North to the South Pole and anywhere in between. As time flies, battles have transformed themselves into sports. Yet, the fundamentals remain the same, with lighter shields and a different type of sword. But evolution is clever. It introduces new rules but keeps one thing intact: adrenaline. So it's with honor and pride that we present to the world all of the above into one sport. Hockey ball, the game born in the North that can be played from the mountains to the ocean, and from America to Europe, all the way to the land of the rising sun. Napper. Anyone, anywhere.
Overtime, my friends. And the rules, it's just like, honestly, it's just like the NHL. We are playing until someone scores. Doesn't matter how long it takes. We start a new 10-minute overtime period. If that doesn't settle it, we'll switch ends and we'll just keep going. Game 1 is now officially sun and death. Excited to see what these two teams bring. So even. Firstly, for Top Guns, after losing 5-1 to Night's Watch in the regular season, they played them so much better the second time around. How exciting is that? And it's going to give you hope whether they win this game or not that they can win this series in advance. We'll find out. Quick opportunity. Rolls on net, and there is an immediate freeze by Michael Tussey. Blake Gray had it roll off the end of his tape, and wisely Tussey decides to take no chances and just freeze it. That is the right way to go about it. Both goalies, Tussey and Mangini, have been really excellent in this game. Both have done everything you can ask them to do. And let's see what happens next. These overtime goals, they can come out of nowhere. They can come suddenly. And honestly, I couldn't tell you based on the way this game is going. Sometimes when games go to overtime, you can see one team's hanging on for dear life, just trying to get to an intermission, and the other team is playing better. This game, it's just pretty dang even. 40 seconds into overtime. We're looking to see who wants to take game one of this quarterfinal series. Comes into the slot, and it was deflected off of Tussie, and it went wide. Here's Impagliazzo. He gets into the neutral zone. Maybe a 2-on-1 developing. Centering pass, though, got blocked away. It was Tussie who tried to center it, but he was never able to get it beyond his stick. And now Mike Henry on a hat trick. He shoots it in. Decent save from Tussie. It's loose there for a second. Comes back along this way, Hofstrom. He's going to try to get it back through the traffic. That shot was deflected, McCormick. It's loose down in the corner. Henry's going to be a marked man in overtime. There's no question. He's now trying to dive to the front of that. And he's able to put the ball in, except referee has waved it off. Referee has waved it off. Top Guns also waved it off. The referee's going to agree with him, and oh yeah, he put that in with his hand. This is not handball. Handball is also not part of the Ocho. It's part of the Olympics. You sometimes have to break the tension at overtime. Look, if Mike Henry scores, you have to believe it's for a good reason, but in that case, he put the ball in with his hand. That is not legal. But it looks like the pressure from Night's Watch is starting to build. Top Guns trying to break this out. We are a minute 40 in overtime, trying the lobbed aerial clearance. Glove down, trying to center it. It's loose for a second, still in the corner. Opportunity to break the other way. Night's Watch able to set the table. They're able to get a change. This is Aubrey who tries to center it. Gets it back along the wall. Aubrey sets it along. It's loose at the side of the net for a second, but they are able to deal with it. Now comes into the slot, and that's the game winner. Chris Buckman, the Top Guns player from 2024, got a centering pass in the slot, ends this game and sticks a dagger in his old team. He picked out the top corner. What a play. Night's Watch thought they won it earlier. They have a won it now, and they take game one 3-2 in overtime. What an excellent game. We're going to wrap it up in just a second.
I'm so boned. I forgot to get my girl tickets for the show tomorrow, and now it's sold out. It's her freaking birthday.
Oh, dude. She's totally gonna break up with you.
She's definitely gonna break up with me.
Should've used TickPick.
Wait, what'd you say?
TickPick. Look.
Oh, whoa, dude.
What? There are no hidden fees. What'd you guys think I said?
Oh, TickPick. I thought you said.
You heard right. TickPick, the no-fee ticket site.
What a game. Night's Watch wins game one of the New Jersey Tier 1 quarterfinals over Top Guns 3-2. And of course, it's a former Top Gun that scored it, Matthew Aaron. Thank you for being with us for heck of a game. And we saw earlier in this game, Mike Henry pick out the top right corner in a goal that he scored that was an incredible power play goal. And then Chris Buckman does exactly the same thing. He gets set up in the slot. There is absolutely nowhere else that he could put that ball that gets it into the net. On poor Michael Tussie, who played really well. And a couple of these goals, what are you supposed to do? What is any goalie supposed to do? Doesn't matter what surface you're on, how good a goalie you are, nobody is going to stop those shots. Night's Watch win game one by a score of 3-2 in overtime. We should also mention how the rest of these games went, because all of these games are played on the same day. Important playoff series. You get a chance to immediately respond, but Night's Watch, they won 6-3 in game number 2. So that means as the 3 seed, they're going to play the Marlton Dogs in the semifinals of New Jersey Tier 1 next week. The other series was Long Island Fury, who you saw in the game of the week last week. They played the Evesham Tortugas 2 3-2 games. One was decided to the Fury in regulation, the other in overtime. So you will see the Long Island Fury, the team that makes all of those travel arrangements every week that they come down to play. They are moving on as the 5 seed to play Lakeland Caribou in the semifinals. Those are going to be fun games to watch. Maybe one of those will be in the game of the week next week. You definitely want to stay tuned for that, but of course you also want to stay tuned for the game on ESPN2 next Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. on the Ocho. That's going to be fun. The playoffs are going to be fun. I'm Matthew Aaron. Thank you so much for being with us. More ball hockey goodness is to come.